Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, Friday night. We do this every Monday and Friday night at 7 Central, between 7 and 9 o'clock. We discuss all things control line and a lot of other stuff, a lot of BS. But everybody's welcome. All you have to do is be a member of Stunt Hangar and a current supporter so that you can see the at the bench thread. That's the most important part. Everybody thinks that being a member of Stunt Hangar, it used to be that way, but now you have to be a supporter of Stunt Hangar in order to see this link. Now you can all watch it all you want on YouTube, and you can chime in, and we try to watch the chat, and you can ask questions. Let's see, we have 7 watching now. I know today that I said that I was going to start my trailer, but it was 85 degrees and it was too hot. So tomorrow might be, let me see what it's supposed to be, 70 something. Let's see here. Tomorrow's weather, we have a tornado watch right now. Let's see, we got 7 today, Saturday. Well, it's going to rain tomorrow. It was 84 today, but I think it was a little warmer. Saturday is 67 and rain. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Good evening.
Hey, good evening, Gary. I recognize that voice.
Yeah.
Saturday's low will be 48 after 11 p.m. The high will be 67 around 12 a.m. Feels like 38 to 62. When will make it feel cooler than that? Let's see. Options, temperature. Yeah. It doesn't say how much rain, but half an inch is what it's supposed to get. So maybe it won't rain all day. And I'll get out there and do the trailer. Today I bought floor tile glue, and yesterday or this morning at 4 a.m. Amazon delivered the vinyl flooring for the trailer, checkerboard. I thought that I was going to be able to do this in a day. There ain't no way. I've got so many things to put on that thing, it's ridiculous. I got to take the paneling off the wall, cut the hole for the door and the window, frame it up with 1x, put insulation on the walls, paint the wall panels white, put it back on, put the floor in, put all that in, put the shore power plug and the exit plug, and then I got a box over there for the electronics I got solar panels to go on the roof. It's a big project. So there ain't no way I can do it in a day. It'll take a week probably.
Is your door in yet?
No, I got
Okay.
the doors in the trailer, but it ain't cut in yet.
Yeah. It's
You
just
know,
you.
it's just me.
Just you. Yeah.
If I was working back at Devers, I'd do it in the building at Devers, and I could get it done faster because then you're not in the weather, not in the heat.
Yeah.
But she's going to be pretty nice when it's done. I had to let me get this box because I'm gonna do that while we're talking. Let's see. These are the glands for the box. This is the low voltage meter goes inside this box. This is the electrical box. What the hell is this? Now these are the bus bars.
Mm-hmm.
These are the locks for electric, so you don't have to solder wires. I just lock them in there. But I got this switch panel. I was gonna put it in the wall, but the wall is too thin. Got the gland here. Yeah, I'll do this tonight. I'll cut this hole in the box for this switch deal right here for the lights.
Mm-hmm.
I cut that hole in the box there, so we got switches.
You would have a small workbench in one corner of it or one end of it.
What's that?
You have a small workbench in one corner or one,
No,
you know,
no, it's too small. It's only
too
5 foot by 8 foot, and you can't stand up in it. It's short.
oh, okay.
And that's interesting. It's got little clear things for lights, power. I think I'm going to cut a 110. I'm not going to run I have an inverter. It's 1,000 watts. It's not big enough. I don't have any batteries. I gave the batteries away, so I'm not going to do batteries right away. But I do have a generator and solar panels, and my small solar battery that I can use for the computer. So it'll all be done right out of this box here anyway. I've been collecting parts for the last, I don't know, week, 2 weeks. This here's the gland that goes up on top so that I can get the power in from the solar panels.
Yeah. Small cutting and fitting in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I ended up getting the glue today and the silicone. I got the tape, the butyl tape. This is so I don't have a leak on the roof.
Yeah, I don't want that.
The wires go in there from the solar panels.
Do they fold up or anything, or they just lay flat on the top?
These are flexible solar panels. You know, they'll bend because my roof is crowned. It's not flat. So
Okay.
I'm going to uh, use some tape. It's 4-inch wide solar panel tape to tape it down, and then I'm gonna go around it with silicone. They're going to be on top. Get rid of that. And then I got these things. This is for power in. Yeah, this is power in. It's only 15 amp. I do have a 30 amp spot on my generator, but I'm not going to run air conditioning on this thing. Just lights and stuff. And then this is power out. There's a whittle down the box, lots of boxes. Yeah, it'll be fine. Well, I wonder how many we're going to have tonight.
I don't know. I was wondering that myself.
We got any chatters? Nope. Oh, yeah. Mark says evening.
Yeah.
I don't need it. But I can get it. The trash is ridiculous. Then I got this vent to put on this thing.
Okay.
This is a powered vent. It's got a fan in it. I mean, it's not air conditioning, but
Okay.
this is
Okay.
just a little 5x8 cargo trailer. It's going to be turned into a 5x8 model. I mean, it already was a model hauler, but it wasn't very nice. It was just a trailer, box.
Oh, that thing we got with your fan in it, is it to go in the top or you gonna put it on the side?
Now this goes on top.
On top, okay. Like a trailer, regular motor home would have, right?
Yeah, that's what this is.
Y- Yeah. Okay.
Then I got a high volume fan I'm going to bring to Brodak because you know how hot it is there.
Yeah.
When I go to the Nats this year, because John's, I don't know what I did last year. Who did I didn't stay with anybody last year. I think I'm going to camp. I'll just stay in my little trailer underneath the trees there. Every year that I go to the Nats, it costs anywhere between $700 and $1,000, and it's just too much money to throw away. I'll stay in this
Yeah.
little trailer. The hotel bill
Hmm.
is, I think that of the year of the Nats and the Worlds that year, I spent about 1,200 because I stayed 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, it's nice to have. I'll have TV in there. I'm going to have a TV, and I get more channels than the motel. Because when Steve and I go and we share a room, or when John and I went, I'd take my HDMI cord and my computer, and I'd stream off the computer onto the TV in the motel because their TV was such crap. So I'll have the amenities.
Yeah, of course, Brodock, I got the porta potties, don't they?
Yeah, Broderick's got porta potty.
Yeah.
I only got I stayed there at the field 1 year in John's garage that's torn down now, but I brought my cot and I stayed out there in the garage. A tornado came and oh God,
Oh God.
there's no basement. There's no place to go. And a tornado, you could see the damn thing coming. I said, oh man, I hope it don't get us.
Uh, and that was John's house?
Brodak, John
Oh,
Brodak.
Brodak. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
John Brodak had another garage down in the corner, down by where they hold the racing, and a big shed, or a metal garage, and you could hear the acorns dropping on the tin up there, but a crash. But you could hear the tornado coming and the sirens going off. And, oh, bad,
Yeah, oh my.
spooky. And when John was alive, he never locked that garage, his regular garage. Now that he's gone, Buzz locks the garage. You can't get in there because that would be where I'd go into the bathroom in that garage. But I guess now where I'd go is down in the hollow, down by the barbecue, down in the try to hunker up next to the brick barbecue down there.
Hmm.
Well, come on, guys, come on in.
Yeah. The weather's fine.
It is posted because Gary's here. There's 17 watching. Well,
Come on in. Maybe I scare them off.
yeah, maybe. Like I say, we don't have to do these.
But they're interesting sometimes, a lot of neat stuff's discussed. And
The best the best thing is when Hunt shows his pictures and tells his stories.
yeah,
I got one of his his little thumb drives around here of all his pictures somewhere.
I do too. I can't find mine either. I don't know
But
what fell on the floor. Maybe I'm
even if I could get those pictures up, I don't know about them. That's
right.
his
Yeah.
memory. I guess let me look for this thing. Uh, the one in there is the software for the 3D router. Yeah, I got two of them here. So one of these two, yours look like that?
I don't know because I sent mine to him, so I don't know what. I'm not sure what it looks like now. I can't find it, so I think it might be on. It might have fell on the floor. And I
Let me plug it in. Maybe we'll start showing some pictures. Okay, there that is. Let's see what's on that one. Because I know how to operate it better than these guys do. We can go through it like a slideshow. So that is USB drive D. Yeah, that ain't it. That ain't the one.
think there's a bunch of folders on it with pictures in each folder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that ain't it. Let's look at that one. Okay, let's see here. Sparky. I don't think that's it, but Mike's edits. Huh, that ain't it. Let's look at that picture and see what it is. Yeah, these are airplane pictures, but
there we, yeah,
but
we got
they're
someone
not
in.
done. Huh?
We got someone in. Let's
This is Monado.
McIntyre. Is that working?
Yeah, it's working. We hear you.
Oh, all right. Good.
we got you.
Good. How you guys doing tonight?
All right.
Pretty good.
Good. I got a question.
Okay.
I'm trying to tie these double surgeon knots, and
Can't
I
help you.
can't
Dennis
help
Adam.
you.
No.
All right.
Dennis Adamish will have to help you.
All right.
Might as well not even go any further. I don't. Gary can't help you either.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right.
There's maybe someone else comes in here might be able to help us.
Yep. Yep. Good.
Oh, I have about 100 pictures of the same thing. What happened here? Huh. Let me go down to the end here. See if this whole thing is the same. There we go. Let's go here.
There's Bob Hunt coming, man. He's a coming. There he is.
Hey, gang.
Hey, he might be able to tell you. Ask him
What's that?
Double
about
surgeon.
this double surgeon knot. You know how to tie it?
I don't, but Denny does.
Yeah, no, that's what we said.
I learned how to tie it, but I keep when I try to make the two strings the same length, I keep coming up a half-inch short.
Yeah, I tried it a couple of times to try, I think, try it and I couldn't do it. Well, I didn't take time to learn it. You know,
Yeah.
I tried flying on them and I decided there's something there. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They work. But I had to open the handle spacing a quarter inch on each side, up and down, to get the same amount of turn rate. So it means they were stretching a little bit. Now that's on an airplane that was pulling pretty good too. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Gonna one of my twins, you know. Actually, no, it was on the Crossfire. It was on the Crossfire. And they worked. Right? No argument. You know.
Yeah.
Where's everybody tonight? I mean, we're here.
I don't know, they're hiding. Yeah, that ain't it.
I guess the boys are getting almost ready to leave for Australia.
Yeah,
Be good. I never made it there.
probably gonna be warm. Of course, no, I guess maybe it won't be because it's winter time there.
Yeah, but I still think it's going to be. It won't be that cold yet. And it's on the West Coast. They're going to be getting a
Tropical.
breeze coming in, you know, across several thousand miles of ocean. It's pretty breezy there. Maybe I'm glad I'm not on that team.
Yeah.
That one we flew in England, right off the North Irish Sea. There was about 20 mile an hour winds, 25 mile an hour. There were big steel tables rolling down the runway from the wind. It was horrible.
Here comes Brendan now.
Hey,
So
hey, I heard we were asking how to tie the double surgeon knot.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've tied a lot of them because Angstrom, I mean, since he was 7 and we got into it, with him being a kid, the first thing he did was start tearing up the steel lines. So thankfully, Mike Lonke put us on to the Spectra, and we never looked back. So,
Yeah.
What kind of issues you having?
To get the two lines even, I keep coming up like a half-inch short.
So they're not
short.
On the Spectra lines, like when you're trying to get both lines.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, so when I measure them out, I got the 2 knots. I put the knots on the one end, and then I usually put them on a screwdriver and a vise in my garage.
Yeah. I put a nail in the table on each end, and
Okay.
I get the one line fine, and then by the time I get to the last knot to even them up, it's just, I don't know, I can't get them to come out even.
So there's a couple things to think about. I've kind of learned this over time with the stretch of the Spectra lines. I guess you can't guarantee that they'll both stretch similarly.
Yeah.
So when I create those 2 knots, on the one end and put it on the screwdriver, then usually I pull them for a solid 15, 20 minutes. What I do is I make them super long. So if I need 65-foot lines, I make them 70. Put the knots on the end of that, put it on a handle, and then I pull it for 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then I let them just sit overnight. And then the next day I do it again for 20 minutes. That way they're stretched and, they're in good shape.
Okay.
And then the suggestion on my side is, you just run them out together, in your fingers and run them out together.
Yeah.
Make a mark there. And then I do it 2 or 3 times to make sure that mark just constantly lines up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make like 5-foot lines, just practicing,
Yeah, but once you got the mark that you want on there, I have found that double surgeon knot incredibly easy to directly put that at the end of your where you want it, right on where the line clips.
That's what I do, and I watch that video that guy has, and maybe 15, 20 times.
Yeah. I mean, do you have a problem with that mark that you made sliding, or it just never lines up the 2 lines?
Yeah, no, I hold that mark right on the screwdriver, and when I pull everything tight, I'm short. So
yeah, it doesn't sound right to me because I hold that double knot. I mean, there's 2 loops at that point. After you wrapped it through that hole twice. I put it right on that screwdriver, and then I start, slowly tightening up everything else, but leaving your finger right on that screwdriver will hold it down.
Okay. Well, I just keep practicing until I figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, there's a guy going to come on here, Dennis at a mission. Send him $20 and he'll send you a set of lines.
Yeah. Well, we finally got some decent weather this week. We've had today was very calm winds, and a couple days the same thing. And I'll tell you what, haven't had that to the point where Angstrom was a little, I think, caught off guard by having dead air or just such light winds. So it was a very different flying experience this week with that Raptor, because just haven't had that type of conditions around here.
Did you guys lengthen that push rod just half a turn like I suggested?
We did not. It feels like it's holding, like it's tracking well. But yeah,
Well,
it's been in the back of our mind.
About trim changes. You can always go back half a turn.
Yeah.
But the way I looked at it, that thing was when the flaps were level, I think it was the tiniest bit up. So if you lengthen that push rod or shorten that push rod by half a turn, I think it'll even lock better. And what's it going to cost you?
Yeah. Well, hopefully we got some decent weather still in this. We got 1 week until we're on the airplane. So
you want to get it as perfect as you can get it.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, go back. I mean, that's it's not permanent.
Yeah.
Yep. Does it feel the same both ways, turning insides and outsides?
It does. Yeah.
We're talking about a tiny little bit, Howard. But when we first looked at it, Joseph, I just assumed you guys had done bench trimming. But when Joe came down on Sunday, he said, "Did you check the elevator flap neutraling?" And I went, "Oh, like Homer Simpson, And I said, "No, I didn't." And we checked it, and it had about 2.5 degrees of down elevator when the flaps were level. So several iterations, we had to take it apart each time to do it. We finally got it pretty close, but then I was looking at it, and I said, there's a tiniest little bit of up in the elevator. And I think if you take that out, it'll even be a little better. I mean, it might not, but the chances of getting it better, you have time to do it. And if you don't like it, you can go back the other way. It's not going to affect your handle setting. I mean, we're talking about, a tiny little bit,
Yeah.
But it might make the airplane even fly better.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll give it a look. The next 3 days are garbage. I mean, it's winds, it's rain, and then the other piece is Saturday, Sunday and Monday are trying to even get to 50 degrees, and so it's just
it's gonna be cold.
We had plans to have Todd Lee down here kind of hanging with us and doing some stuff, and we told him just stay in Cleveland. It's just there's no weather to fly in. So yeah, we'll take a look at it if we get some decent weather this week. And
I think shorten the push rod half a turn on that low link, or that.
Okay.
I don't think you're going to notice a huge difference, but it might be a little. And what we're looking for here, we're splitting hairs now. And if you make it a tiny bit better, it's a tiny bit better.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll say with our flying earlier this week, Angstrom hit a point with that plane where he looked at me after a flight and just kind of said, I think we got something here. He finally had enough flights on it. I think I've been keeping track of how many flights we've had on it, legitimate flights since we got the Igor prop and things of that nature. We're about 140 flights in on the plane. He just finally looked at me
and said, a week's worth of practice for wearage.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 days worth of practice. No, that's good. But try that. I mean, you're going to have to take the airplane apart at some point anyway, I'm sure, and just shorten it, like half turn, and go fly.
Yeah.
Call me and let me know. Did everything we tell you work correctly?
Oh yeah.
Every last thing we told you to do worked, right? Try this.
Yeah, and it's good timing that you're bringing it up because we got the plane apart right now. We've got, I think we've showed you all before, the canopy was a little bit cracked up. So that was one thing Todd was going to help us with this weekend, just really just kind of looking over that stuff. But since he's not around,
put a piece of fiberglass inside, sand it out, put a little film, mask it off, spray it, and you got a brand new canopy.
Yeah. So
That's not-
that's what we're going to get to this evening. Here is we already got it opened up, and we're going to put the glass cloth on it.
Put
course,
the
yeah.
smoothie aside for a while.
If you shorten the push rod now, it will have been it's different conditions and stuff from when you saw it last, so you won't be able to tell what the change did. Or you can shorten it now, and then next time you're able to fly it, you can put it back to where it was.
Yeah.
See which one's
Talking
better.
about a tiny bit here, Howard. I mean, when
Yeah.
I looked at the elevators, and it looked to me like there was like a quarter or an eighth of a degree up at the most, maybe even less. But it did look like it wasn't dead level. So I figured if we can get it to dead level and give it a shot, if you don't like it, put it back.
Yeah. You're talking about just looking at the stabilizing elevator, not
Just
how
a
it's flying.
cursory look. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Well, when it flies, the first thing one notices is whether it's pitched down in level flight or upside
It
down.
wouldn't be that much. It would be, wouldn't be enough to really notice that. I don't think we're talking a really little tiny bit, but I'm one of those guys that learned from Weirwood. You never stop trimming. Billy said,
Never stop trimming. And yeah, then even if you don't notice anything there, I can tell the difference between insides and outside loops. One feels different from the other. It's hard to describe.
Yeah.
If you feel a difference in inside and outside loops, you need to adjust the elevator.
And sometimes it takes years and years and years of flying to get where you can discern those little things. I mean, that's just experience and a number of hours on this handle. But I'll tell you, we did an awful lot of trim changes in 2 days.
Yeah, well, your teammates are very knowledgeable.
Yep.
And Jimby also, who's going there. But typically at World Championships, there's not that many not many opportunities to trim. And I think in Australia, they have a practice field available that the guy last time got to fly quite a bit. This the limited availability of practice time is what caused Paul to go to that fancy mechanism to tweak his flaps, so he wouldn't have to do 2 or 3 iterations of bending him, because time's limited at.
The only 2 World Championships I was ever at where we had unlimited, well, not unlimited, but one where we had unlimited facilities was in England, at Burtonwood. We had the whole Burtonwood RAF base to ourselves. So everybody in the contest could have their own practice circle.
Mm-hmm. Smashing.
That was amazing, yeah.
Well, of course, in Poland, you found a practice site.
Yeah, we found a practice site.
Yeah.
That's about a 2 hour.
I wasn't with
story.
Paul. That was with Billy.
Yeah.
And Les and Winpaul and Dave Elias. When you get surrounded by people with AK-47s at the loaded and locked and ready to go, get your attention. There was no practicing that day.
Yeah, that's a long and interesting story.
Well, true story too. There's a lot more than I've ever told too. So
I want to hear the rest of it. Not right now, but
when you come in to visit, I'll tell you the rest of it.
Okay.
Anyway, so what are you flying, Richard?
Banshees, Twisters, Ringmasters, a Must Stunt. I got a Vector 40.
Got a Must Stunt. Oh wow.
Chiseler. I just finished the Chiseler and the Vector 40.
Got a Nobler behind you.
I got a Nobler behind me. That's what I'm working on now. A DC3.
Wow.
Yeah, you have look at his show him your DC3. That thing is great.
I like twins. Oh, look at that.
This or not.
Cool.
Look at that. Puff the Magic Dragon, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So,
Gonna be hard to loop, but it's a nice airplane.
oh, if it goes around 2 or 3 times, I'll be happy.
Yeah, nice.
I'm gonna put 2 FT25s on it.
And you can say you got a chiseler too?
Yeah, chiseler. Yeah.
I always wanted to build a chiseler and paint it like the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. That thing would look-
Yeah.
I thought that would look fun.
Yeah. Yep. I'll go get my chiseler. Let's see.
So guys, get used to a different look. This is the last time probably you're going to see me with the mustache. I'm going to shave the mustache off.
Oh dear.
I've had it since I was like 19.
Huh.
There's Denny.
You might be mistaken for Robbie.
I'm not sure who should be insulted by that, Robbie or me. Probably Robbie.
Tell her Dennis had a mission. Come in, Denny.
Come in, Dan. Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, look at that.
Let's make him big. Hold on a second.
Yeah, let's see that. Everything's military speed. That's cool.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, big chief.
So
Cool.
yep. And
Big Mathis would be proud.
I just bought another plane. Here's my Vector 40. I did like a Spitfire. Let's see.
Got that camo thing down now.
Let me get over here. See if this works better.
Must not fly around many trees.
The only problem with the only problem with camoed airplanes is when you go to look for them to take them out to the field, you can't find them.
I haven't flown them yet.
What are they painted with? They're awful shiny.
I paint them with Rust-Oleum,
Wow.
and then I put stuff here. This
Automotive clear.
yeah, automotive 2K.
2K. Yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, he does his deck furniture in dope.
Yeah. What's that?
I said to be fair, you paint your deck furniture with dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did them with silk. So
Oh, good.
yeah.
Old school.
Yeah. Yep.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Old school.
I just like the smell, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Denny, are you there?
I'm hanging in there. How you doing?
This gentleman here has Spectra questions.
Okay. Well, hey, before we do that, I just wanted to do something a little personal, if I may.
Sure.
As you knew, I was getting my rotator cuff operated on, and that
Yeah.
happened today. All right.
Today.
Yeah. So I
Wow.
am about 6 hours past it and everything like that. And over the last couple of weeks, I've been getting a lot of emails and texts and phone calls and everything like that, wishing me well and offering prayers and everything like that. And I just want to publicly thank everybody who's been looking out for me, because at least so far, so good. The doctor said operation went well. Right now, my shoulder, I got a nerve blocker and everything like that. My arm is kind of a even more useless than normal. But
Will you be
any
able to
rate,
fly-
I
you
just
able to
wanted
fly
to
at the
check in
Nationals?
with everybody and let them know everything worked out all right. So
Did they leave you a flap for grease fitting?
they did leave a little zerk on the outside. So yeah.
Will you be able to fly at the Nationals?
I don't know. There are people are saying I haven't been able to do that for the last dozen times I tried. So I'm not sure what to say, Bob. He did promise. Doctor did promise he'd fix my slice. So
That Doctor, will I be able to play piano? I don't see why not. Well, that's funny. I never could before.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
The
Doc, it
reason I'm
hurts when I
asking
do
is
this.
if you can't fly, maybe you could help me out at an appearance point.
Yeah. That's a wait and
Well,
see.
there's more judging to do after that.
Yeah, well, I am very much taking one thing at a time from here on out. My recovery is supposed to last about that long anyway. And that's just until the therapy runs out and stuff like that. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing or anything like that. So I'm hesitating to volunteer in April for a check I might not be able to cash in July, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But
I got a call from Gerke. He can't make it, so
Oh,
yeah,
I need to
you
go
were
to Les
worried about.
McDonald.
Yeah, I know
So
you were worried
all my
about that.
guys are.
So yeah, that's a thing. And I don't know, one problem at a time, Bob. I know Steve Smith asked me if I'd be willing to be a flight judge, and you've asked me to be an appearance judge. And in the past, I've also run the intermediate event. And I don't know if they have anybody lined up for that. I know last year I
I think they
think
do.
they kind of let it run itself, and so
It's
I
going
don't
to be a
know.
busy day. That's all going to happen on one day.
Yeah.
The whole thing is going to happen on Sunday.
Hmm.
I'm going to judge in one of those events.
Yeah. So one problem at a time. First one is that I got my arm sewed back on, and
Yeah.
a little luck and a lot of PT. Hoping to be able to actually, hoping I can fly some toy airplanes this year, so I can share some stories like Howard does about flying in his backyard.
Yeah, that was
So,
cool.
You gonna be at Brodak?
pardon me?
You gonna go to Brodak?
No, I got a different problem with that. Brodak happens basically. It starts the weekend of my 50th wedding anniversary. So unless I'm widowed or divorced, I don't expect to make it. All
Well,
right.
you
Well,
would be supposed to
Take
do it.
her.
Bring her along. Tell her it's a flying, flying
Yeah.
anniversary.
If she comes, she'll seek you out, and she will.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll make you regret all of your life choices, Sparky. All right. So, all righty. So anyhow, all right. Back to Spectra. What do we want to talk about?
I having a problem getting my two lines the same length when I tie that double surgeon knot.
Okay. What and everybody has a little bit of trouble with that, and the combat guys have been doing it all the time. They get better and better at it all the time.
Uh-huh.
I found in my case, I've been doing a couple of things. They say, pull the thread out and have a stake there or something, mark the length, right? So you get the mark. The one thing I found is that the amount that I pull the line taut makes a big difference. So I try to pull them at the same time, and even that isn't absolutely guaranteed, because you're holding two lines, and yeah, you're pulling them together, but there's still no question, unless you're pulling them really, really hard, you're always
Yeah.
going to get a little more tension on one
I'm
instead of
just
the
trying
other.
like 5 foot lengths and just practicing, and then I come up a half-inch short all the time.
Yeah. The other thing is to use either a cable handle or get one of Jim Lee's clip benders.
Yeah.
Honest to God, it's a good tool for if you're using hard point handles. You ought to have something like that anyway.
Yeah, I do have
Uh,
those.
And I have clips anywhere from 3/4 of an inch up to, I think my longest is 3.5 inches. And I have used both of them sometimes at the same time, all right, on the same set. So I'm getting better at it. I've done a couple of things that have helped my process. One is that with Spectra lines, after you tie them, you usually, stretch them,
Mhm.
and what I started doing that seemed to help quite a bit is that making a 60-foot lines, which means it'd be, 62, 63, raw, and then,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I'll make up one line that is 124 feet long,
Hmm.
one end tied on each end. All right. And with those tied and everything at that first good test, go ahead and pull them and stretch them. I'll do the stretching routine on the single line. All right. And the idea with that is to try to stabilize any of the when you do that stretching thing, I think it kind of aligns the braid,
Yep.
and takes any what you call it, slack out of the individual braids and stuff like that. And, pull it at 50%. I usually pull it at 50% of braiding, hold it for a count of 100 and do it. After I do that, it seems the lines I've been doing since I've been doing that are better.
Mhm.
All right. Now, the next thing I want to try is I want to try to make some kind of a rig where I can take that pre-bent, pre-tied line. And of course, I'll put both the finished ends on one end and come
Yep.
back to the other to mark it. And I want to try to hang them over the edge of hang them over a dowel or something like that that's at the right rate with a little weight on it. So I can try to guarantee that I have exactly the same amount of tension on both lines when I mark them.
I got you.
All right. And then the other thing, there's one more thing. I don't know how to put numbers on it yet, but get very good at tying your loops consistently. That is, if you're making a loop, a lot of people obsess about making the loops really, really, tight and small, and they look nice. All right. Some of them are different. The amount of line that you put in that loop seems to affect, you can tie it and you say, gee, I marked it right at the exact mark.
Yeah.
Why is it off? Well, it's off because you use up thread in the course of tying the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think what happens if you tie one that's really close and tie another one where the loop is 1.5 inches, you're going to get a big difference in the line.
Yep.
And because the line is doubled, I think it kind of, doubles up some of that.
Yeah.
So,
Sounds like a lot of practice. That's all.
yeah, I think it's practice. You might just try a couple of things. I think that thing with the loops, that's been driving me a little crazy, but I'm coming to that through a back door. I've been trying to make spectra lead outs. All right.
Mhm.
And so I'm tying up pieces that are about, nominally 3 feet long, they're 32, 33 inches, something like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
And I'll mark them at 33 and I'll tie them. And the finish line is 32. Well, how in the hell did I miss by an inch? Well, I missed by an inch because I think when you mark the line, you actually still absorb about an inch of line in the act of tying the knot.
In a knot, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just in the knot itself. Even though
Yeah.
one end's already tied, you still got one end.
Yeah.
So you might try that. So now if I went on a 33-inch lead out, I will mark it at 34
Yeah.
and then try harder, to tie the. I usually end up somewhere along the line. The loop ends up being about that big,
Yeah.
But
Why can't you tie them lines like we tie regular, braided lines?
how so? Well, the line is really, really slippery. So I don't think it's really friendly to wrap it with wire or something like that. I think the line would probably pull through it. And
I don't see how
I
it
don't
could
know.
pull
And then
through.
also it doesn't take any kind of, it doesn't absorb any kind of adhesive. So you can't tie it and CA it or something like that. The CA doesn't stick to it. Okay.
You said you're experimenting with this for lead outs. Aren't you worried about chafing where it goes through the lead out guide?
Of course. And and the answer is, what am I going to do about it? I said, well, for one thing, every place I've used it on a lead out, I can repair the lead out. All right.
You can get to the bell crank and.
Yeah, I can get to the bell crank end, can get to the outer end.
All right.
The new the latest airplane, I haven't covered it yet, but I'm gonna have a little window at the bottom of the wingtip, so I can check it really close. All right, and then the next best answer is, why the hell is it chafing? And I think the combat guys who chafe the lines, a lot of times they're running their line, they run the line strict, from the bell crank all the way to the handle. They don't even have a lead out per se, and that's and then they run it through. I think in their lead out guide is typically a piece of 1/8 inch plywood. I don't think they've been spending a lot of time, doing anything with it. And I'm swagging with absolutely no proof on it, that if I had a little piece of 1/2 inch plastic tubing in the lead out guide,
A nylon screw with a hole
something
drill.
like that. Yeah. And then the nylon screw or the tubing, I want to take and somehow radius that inner edge of it.
Mhm.
to try to break down the chafy part, if you will,
Mhm.
and then watch it.
Are you using heavier lines?
I have the first airplane I did it on, that last airplane I had at the dance, I actually used 3 strands of 80-pound line for each lead out. I had a real gentle weave of the 3 lines to keep them together. But that was another thing I thought was a nice touch, because it was like redundant lead outs. 80-pound, any 80-pound line should have been able to take the load. 3 of them should have been, safety, and it should have been
What is
wear
the
and tear and everything like that too.
what's the strongest line you can get in one line? In other words, what?
I think 200 pound. If you go
Wow.
to the what is it? The one of the wind tamer lines. I think it's icebreaker or something like that. It's or no, downrigger line. That's what they call it. It's for really, really deep sea stuff. And it's made to tangle up with stuff. And I think it's on the order of 27 thick. All right. And it's like 200 pound rated.
Wow.
And it doesn't weigh anything.
Well, it's still 1/5 the weight of steel. Generically, size for diameter per diameter, it's like 1/5 the weight. So
Denny,
and it's
Have
very
you-
slippery, and it won't kink. If you get paint on it, the paint's not going to stick. I can talk myself into a lot of good reasons to use it, which of course all become academic when they actually break.
That's polyethylene, right?
Yeah.
I found a couple glues that will probably stick to polyethylene. They stick to other stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can send you pictures of them or something.
Yeah, okay. And again, Howard, as you may well imagine, I'm talking, my baselines, all my ground line, if you will, are Phil Cartier. He worked with that stuff forever, and he really knew his way around the Spectra line. He the one to come up with, with that knot that you can tie at a point, stuff like that.
Denny, have you given any consideration to what Lenny was doing with he was using Kevlar for the lead outs?
I've read that Spectra is more resistant to chafing than Kevlar is.
Really?
And
Okay,
I
didn't know
understand that that Trayan, he wore out and broke a Kevlar lead out. All right.
I didn't know that. I thought Kevlar
Yeah.
was about the armor-proof thing of them all.
Yeah, they make it.
No.
They use it in things like chef's gloves.
Yeah.
Chef's gloves. All right. They
Yeah,
used to make the gloves out of Kevlar, and they've been switching over to Spectra because it is more resistant to knife cuts.
Huh.
All right,
Interesting.
So instead of chain
It does-
maul, we're
it- I mean,
using
it
thread.
does- I've even used it to slice French bread. So it's the greatest thing since French bread. So, oh, is that over the top? All right.
That was a very
Let me walk that one back a little bit. All right.
that was a wry comment.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Oh, don't butter it on too thick.
Hey, first liar doesn't have a chance. That's all there is to it. So anyhow. Richard, I don't know if that helps any. Tie some. Why don't you? In fact, since I'm quite literally tied up, maybe you. I don't know how often you come here or anything like that, but maybe you can do some more practice things, and maybe you can even come back and report here and see if that thing with tying loops makes. If that gets you closer to where you want to be.
Yeah.
So I would think if you're tying a 5-foot long line, that pre-stretching thing I'm talking about, I don't think you're going to see much of an effect on a 5-foot long line. But so I think any of your variation has to be in something you're doing when you tie the knots.
Yeah,
So,
definitely my loop sizes were different.
It's I've tied a lot of them and everything like that, and it's still, sometimes it's a new adventure.
Yeah.
Denny, I particularly like your idea of using multiple strands. because you've got a backup. If one strand does break, the other, each strand is capable of acting on its own. So
Yeah, yeah.
you've
Yeah,
got a safety
I
thing.
think there's something to that. And when I talked, I said I braided, and what I did is I took the 3 strands and I did just a basic, over under weave kind of thing.
Yeah,
And it wasn't a weave like it was more a mechanism to try to make sure all 3 lines stayed together.
right. It was a real loose braid.
Yeah.
Till it frays and wads up in the wingtip and locks things up.
Yeah, it won't lock up because it's slippery.
Yeah, right.
Ah, come on. Did I mention sliced bread? I'm sorry.
You need to name your new airplane sliced bread,
Nah.
and only a few insiders will know the joke.
No, anyhow.
There's
So
David.
yeah,
Jim.
I think that would, and Richard, I don't know, you probably have seen the thread on Stunt Hangar Adventures in Spectra.
I don't know if I saw that one or not.
All right,
It's
look it
there.
up. It's in the main forum. I think it's on the front page again. Somebody put some recent stuff in there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
16 pages long now. All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
There's a lot of things there and stuff. I would suggest you take the question you just asked
Put it there.
and ask it there and see what, if you can get some shout outs on that.
Yep, thanks.
So I started that thread a long time ago because I wanted people to share their ideas and experience.
Yeah.
That I didn't start it as the expert on Spectre. I started as a guy who was interested as hell in it. And so we've had a lot of feedback from a lot of the combat guys. Strangely enough, I haven't had very many fishermen report in on that, which kind of disappointed me. I thought they would have something to say, on tying knots and stuff. Ken Culbertson mentioned his family used to, be in tackle business or something like that. He talked about they used to tie leaders, like 2-foot long leaders and stuff like that. And he said he just doesn't remember how they made them.
Vince Bodie should chime in on it.
Vince is using it now too.
Well, Vince Bodie's a fisherman. He fishes
Yeah.
for sturgeon.
Well, hell, he
fishing.
doesn't chime in on anything though. So
He's a professional guide.
mhm.
Well, I started out as a bosun mate when I was in the Navy. Well, I knew how to tie knots, let me tell you. but I was thankful for your post because I couldn't figure that stupid knot out until I actually
The
saw it.
scariest thing, and Richard's doing the right thing. Scariest thing is everybody, oh, how do I tie the knots? It's the same way you get to Carnegie Hall, pal, right? Practice. And
Yes.
I got some line that I originally bought to use as safety thong line, right? 1/8 inch, nylon, line.
Parachute
And
cord.
I practice using that because you can really see how the knot works and how it comes together and stuff like that. Plus,
Good.
it's big enough where you can actually untie it, do it again. And I did that because I was tying. I first started out. I was tying. I think there was like 10-pound line for half A, which is like 8 thousandths thick or something like that. And it was like dark brown. So, okay, watch this knot go together like hell. Can't see a darn thing. And so I tied it with the big line for practice, just going through the motions, and then just started making up the lines. So,
Hey, Richard.
there is, I made the very first set of Spectra lines I made using the uni knot as recommended, as shown in the AMA general section of the rule book. The uni knot is a slip knot.
Yeah.
You tie it, and when you pull it all tight and everything,
And they never.
it doesn't sound like something that you can tie accurately, right?
Nope. I've tried that so many times.
I made one set of lines, just one set of lines using that note. The first set I made, they came out within 1/16 of an inch of each other. I mean, I'd never even made a set of cables that good, but and
How
I
about a
haven't
hangman's knot?
haven't done it yet. Haven't done it again yet. But
How about a hangman's knot? You can tie them easy enough.
Again,
same trouble getting them.
it's a slip knot, and it's easy to tie, but is it easy to tie on that black line that you put on the line? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That was the thing. And the first set I made, on one end I tied them to a set of line clips, and on the other end I tied them to a set of the usual eyelets that we use for steel lines, because I knew that I needed to have something where I could put a line clip through, for a hard point or something.
is there a rule on the nut that you have to use?
No.
No, you have to pass a 10G pull test. There's suggested knots there. I don't know how Combat suggested, but I think an awful lot of that came about as word of mouth as people started using it. And again, Phil Cartier was in on that. He taught hundreds of people how to tie the lines, and it's the knot he recommends. The modified surgeon's knot is designed to be tied so that it ends on the mark that you put on the line. Okay, but I'm suspecting that it's that and the idea of trying to tie it with the same every time too, or with the same size. The big loop. The big loop is really the only one that matters, but that one takes up, because you tie it with a doubled line and stuff. It can actually use up twice as you might miss by 1/8 of an inch, but because the line is doubled, it might be a 1/4 inch off or something like that. You know what I mean? So, at any rate.
We got a Bearcat report this week.
Do we have a Bearcat reporter? I don't see him.
He's there.
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Mark?
Yeah.
Are you preparing a Bearcat report? It was part of your homework.
That's it.
Your mic's not working.
The dog ate his microphone.
Okay, it's my problem.
You're not plugged in. You're not muted, but your mic's not working.
Oh, he didn't have his headphones on.
Okay, how's that?
That's
Better.
There you go.
I liked it better the other way. Okay. Oh, it's a Bearcat.
This is
Look
how
at
it was
that.
last week when I was test fitting the control surfaces.
Terrific.
And I used this method that Keith Trossel showed me about how you do ink lines with 2 pieces of tape. So I did ink lines this week.
You were
So that's
able
the-
to tape and not get a lot of run through or bleeding?
No, I use this.
Wow.
This is this plastic tape that 3M sells. It's
Huh.
stretchy and it seals really well. And
Oh.
you have to, where you overlap it, you have to take a knife and press down here.
That works better than blue fine line,
I don't know.
or is it the same?
It's very similar to I've got some blue tape if that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, this stuff here.
It's stretchy, right?
Yeah, this stuff here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's very similar to that. I think this is some other brand and not 3M. I think your blue one may be 3M, but anyway, this allows you to get, come on here, good sharp corners, which is what I like. And then try
Are the wings gonna fold there?
Yep.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose, yeah. And I'm
That's a
getting too
thick
shaky
line.
to do this with a pen anymore, so then I put some cleaner on the wing to see how shiny it would get when I got clear coated on it. So that's what I got to do next year. I'll put the clear coat on.
That's awesome.
You
here's
sprayed
the-
those lines?
What's that?
You sprayed those lines?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Ah.
I tape them like this, Howard. You take a really narrow piece of tape. It's 1.5 millimeters in this case. One might have been better.
Oh, you butt them up against the little piece of tape, huh?
Yeah, this is a Keith Trossel. There it is. See
Hmm.
you
I
put
see.
down the tape first,
Yeah.
and then you put the orange tape around it, and then you pull the
Tape
center
up.
tape up, and
Okay.
then you spray.
Groovy.
So,
Hmm.
like I said, I like it because it's
Keeps it
tedious,
nice
but
and straight.
at my age, I can do better than a pen or trying to make a template or something. So,
You'd be hard pressed to do something that thick with a pen.
well, you
Yeah.
could do it thinner, would be fine. I don't, this may be a little too thick, but it's what I used on the first one. But you just get nice square corners. That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
So,
I think one of the things I like too is that compared to the white paint, it's like it's less aggressive. It doesn't stick out. It's white, but it's not white like the paint is and stuff like that. So it gets
yeah, this is actually a blue gray. It's
yeah.
intermediate. It's intermediate blue.
Oh, okay. But
That's
it
what
looks
it
really
is.
nice on your wing picture, on your wing joint there.
The navy color. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, that's getting there.
You gotta paint the hinge lines red, right?
I got to
Well,
get some
Sparky, would
flames
that
so I can
be
put.
correct on Navy planes?
Yeah, that's where you don't put your hands, anywhere it's red.
Okay.
Oh
Would you
yeah, you're
paint both
talking about
sides of the hinge line, the knuckle and the and the
Inside the trailing edge. Well, let's see. Yeah, just inside the trailing edge is red. You don't want
Okay.
the flap leading edge red, but yeah, that's where you don't put your hands.
Ask
Cut
him
your
how he
fingers.
knows that.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, I didn't lose any fingers, but because supposedly the most dangerous airplane is the unattended airplane on the flight line, meaning that those flaps can go up and down due to temperature.
Hmm.
You don't want to put your hands in there.
Mark, you putting a Tom Lay 60 in it or a Big Jim 60 in it? Is it a Tom Lay?
I've got a Dick Carvel 60.
Dick Carvel, huh? Okay. What's you got it from Dick then? He sent it
Yeah,
to
he
you?
gave it to me and he said, "Here, this is my best one."
He flew nothing but 60, so it's probably a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's why I went to see Dick because I knew he knew a lot about 60s and how to get a stunt run.
Yeah,
I know that
And
one you had in the last Bearcat ran like a freaking watch.
that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
Huh.
But anyway, I've got a Tom Lay motor too that I got, and it's just about the same, but I think Dick's is slightly stronger.
Hmm.
And there's some
Amazing.
sentimental value for me to use Dick's. So
Mm-hmm. Do you have just
Yeah.
one of them?
just one what?
Just one of Dick's 60s?
Yeah, and I say I've got the Tom Lay one too, so they're pretty
Okay.
close. But I set them up so the needle valve's in the same place and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of fuel tank in there because they respond really nicely to nitro.
oh yeah,
Are you taking it to the Nats, Mark, too? Is that where it's going or no?
I think so.
Okay.
Should have it done here in the next
Depends
few
on
weeks.
how many more inclines he does. So,
I'm done. I just was up till 11 o'clock last night finishing the incline. So
and just in case, by the way, I have a certain aluminum landing gear still sitting on my rack, ready for instant recall. Just saying. Okay.
I couldn't get the T-Bird to run well out in Tucson, so I didn't use it.
Really?
Maybe it needed the landing gear from you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who dropped off?
Don't know. Where's Bob?
Bob's in the right-hand corner.
Hmm. I don't have a full screen.
Jim Hoffman.
Who did we lose?
Did Richard? Where's he?
Still here.
He's still there.
Oh, we lost John Miller.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he's
might have
always
had
got problems.
Gary Sinclair's nodded out. He's here, though. Yeah, a good nod right now.
hmm.
Hey, Richard.
Yeah.
You had a picture to show you. You may have seen this in the past, but you have a chiseler.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Oh, that's nice.
Mathis, he took second at the Nationals that year at 67
Wow.
with the wheel pants on. Picture that with a Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Wait, the tail goes up in the back. That'd be good.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted to build one just to do that.
Who's that center picture? Is that Klipinski or is that Kostecki in the center?
Klipinski, not Klipinski.
Yeah,
It's Klipinski.
Tempest with a Tempest, right?
Yeah, it was the Tempest. And he won that year. It was his first year in Open. He won the Nationals.
Right. Oh, wow.
He had flown as senior before that, but a lot of people don't know that, you know.
Wow.
And he didn't fly again at the Nats in Open until 1987.
Wow.
He took 11th.
Well, when like football players say, you win a football game, you celebrate for 24 hours. You win the Walker Cup, you can celebrate for, 20 some years anyway. And it's the same thing. So anyhow.
John's back.
You need to pay your Mexicans better, make them crank at an even speed, John.
Actually, he's locked up.
They're not cranking fast enough. He's got very bad internet there.
Yeah.
They took a siesta.
Anyhow. Hey, Bob, I built finished framing up that certain wing I got from you.
Yeah, that Nobler wing?
Yeah. It is
How'd it come out?
officially the lightest wing of any kind I have ever had. So with
Where were your testimonials when I was in business?
I don't know. Where were your wings when I was good? Oh, actually, they were out there. Never mind. The final wing, that's with all the controls, the flaps, the wing, the tip weight box, the adjustable lead outs, the landing gear mounts, not the wire. 8.4 ounces.
Yeah, that's a good weight.
That's a damn good wing.
Either, so
it's a scary good wing because it's like, okay, Dennis, don't revert to being Dennis. Make the rest of the airplane light too. All right, so.
You can thank Mike Rogers for that one, because
this could be, maybe I should. Next time I see him, I'll buy him a.
I got that
I'll tell him Bob owes him a root beer. So all right, so.
Halfway through building that thing, he decided he wanted something different. So I put that aside. I finished it up thinking I'd use it on something, and then I mentioned it to you.
Yeah.
I can actually.
It's a good one.
I can accidentally build a wing.
That's you certainly built enough of them, and that one was no accident. So, no, I guess thank you for that deal and everything like that.
Glad to see you get some use. That was a nice one.
I had not even been thinking about buying one or looking. I built two, original designs, from the 60s eras, and like all the other or most of the other originals of the 60s era, it's built around a nobler wing. So, and I had not really planned on, I didn't have any hard plans for doing it, but come across that wing and it's like, oh, I gotta do this. So I'm going to try to make one of my 1967 jet airplane, one of two that preceded the Typhoon, one of three that preceded the Typhoon. But it was actually, I remember it as the airplane that taught me how to campaign a stunt plane. Right? It was a good flying airplane. I was 67. I was 13 years old at the time. I had been flying it. I'd actually flown at a couple of nationals and everything like that, but it's kind of lollygagging along. Well, I got this airplane, got it out early in the spring, and I learned how to campaign it. By that I mean it was like, okay, go out, practice it, fly every 4 flights, you disassemble and clean the fuel filter and stuff, except in the spring in the Rouge Park when all the cotton was in the air. You clean the fuel filter every single flight, because if you didn't, the next flight was a runaway with a clogged filter. And learned how to do that, how to keep it clean, how to keep it in service, ready for the next contest, fly it, wind, calm, rain, full moon, whatever. You just fly it and get back home, clean it all up, do it all over again. I did that for the whole season. So I think of that as the airplane that basically taught me what it takes to campaign a stunt plane. All right.
Yeah, how about it?
So and like the last, I remember it being a good airplane. Well, okay, I was 13 years old. So how good was it? I'm kind of curious to see. So I don't think there's any reason why it isn't a good airplane. It's got, uh, it doesn't have anything that should hold it back. My original order weighed 48 ounces with an OS 35. And this one, I could legitimately see this thing being like 38 ounces, you know. I'm thinking, Bob, it's got the small block motor written all over it, like your twins, because I'll be flying it with a 10, I'll be flying it with a 10.6 prop, and
2320.
yeah, I'm actually going, when I do the mount, I'm going to make it so I can put either size motor in it, a small block or big block. And
The mounts I have made for the 23s won't fit the bigger motors and vice versa.
right. Well, the only way you can get there from here is you need to put what you call it. You have to make it so you can install a normal X plate.
Needs a Dumifus.
Yeah. Or actually, my brother Dave did print a mount. Did it for a profile. He printed a mount. He was able to print both hole patterns into the same mount. And you take, and with his printed mounts, you used aluminum crush tube inserts in it. So you just mark the holes you want. You can use either the 16 by 19 pattern for the small motor or a 25 millimeter pattern for the large motor. And the same mount will take both motors. So you can get there from here. I'm not sure it's worth the grief. My going in is I'm going to see if I can make it, just make it so I can change the mount out, which really isn't that hard either. So if you think ahead, so.
Didn't your brother also print some type of mount that you could screw on to where a IC motor went, and then put the electric motor in there as well?
Yeah, he had some of those. But everybody wanted a mount where they could put a 2826 electric motor in place of an LA46, which is, performance wise, that's a pretty good, if you do one or the other, you'd be in good shape. And the bottom line is that even the way that mount was made, there just wasn't enough meat in the mounts for the LA46. Or, if you mount the LA46, you actually have to go skive through the holes a little bit to get the 2826 to drop in between the mounts.
Right.
So it never went anywhere that way. But on that, the pink profile, the Mobest I fly, that thing, I built it for the instruction manual for the Brodak kit. The manual was built around not the Evo. What was the one? There was that other.
That's a glue-in mount, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was a 60 that Brodak was selling. I can't remember the name of it, but anyhow, the airplane was built for the 60, and with that, the mounts were spread out wide enough that I could put a 2826 bolt-on mount on the airplane, even though it was built for the glow engine. I was able to put bolt on the electric motor. You've seen that airplane fly, so. I could take that airplane, and between rounds I could put a fuel tank and a glow motor on it. If I ever could think of a single reason why I'd want to do such a thing, it's possible. So, but yeah, if you use the 51 Tiger 51, that's wider.
Not much. That's kind of in a 40 case.
Yeah.
It's like you can't put a Super Tiger 60 where a 51 goes.
Right. Yeah, of course you use the 60, but if you use the 60, you'd want to use one of the next size up electrics too, and I think you'd be right back in the same probably be even worse there. So anyhow, if you want to be able to change from glow to electric, I think you do it the Yashenko way, and you mold a new nose for the fuselage, and bolt the whole nose from the leading edge forward or wherever they join it. Then you can get there from here. I think Igor did it that way, didn't he? As I recall, his first World Champs airplane, the backup power system literally was an LA-46.
Yeah, it had the hole for the cylinder in it.
Yeah, he had a way of mounting, either system in the airplane, right? So you probably want to make the glow engine mount on a firewall.
Hedging your
That'd
bets.
help a lot. Yeah.
Hey guys, real quick question here. We're doing this half E plane. We're putting together the stab or getting the stab ready. Do you round those edges, or do we keep them flat? It's a 3/32 piece of wood here.
Round it at the hinge line so the monocodex hinge goes over it easier. Round it in the
Well,
leading edge
I
because
know
it looks like it's real. Real airplanes have round leading edges, and trailing edge, I don't know. Anybody who looks that close they're looking too close. So I wouldn't worry about the trailing edge of the elevator. I would make every other edge round. How's that?
Okay. Yep, that's what I was looking for to hear. Okay.
Yeah. More sandpaper, Angstrom. Come on, put your elbow in it. Sparky, get on that guy. Look at him.
John Jordan and I were going to sell aerosol elbow grease. We were going to get some cans made up with air in them, with the elbow grease label. Never got around to it.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I stole that thing. Any fans of square edges on the thin sections there?
For the trailing edge,
Yeah.
not at a hinge line.
Yeah.
Although
Brandon and Angstrom, you're going to use monocoque hinges on it?
Yeah, it has the spots in here for using thread, but to be able to like tape the hinge line or things like that, yeah, we figured just go on the monocoque hinges to seal that up.
Yeah, I think on that class of airplane, that's absolutely the best hinge you can use anyway. But it's small. They're light. They're small. You can work them right into the covering scheme and everything like that. Yeah, and when you do that, of course, having that edge, rounded, just makes everything go together better. So.
Yep.
Man, you guys must really be ready. You're weeks from the big trip, and you're here messing up. Is that the ultimate backup airplane? Is that the one that packs in under the shaving kit or something like that?
Yeah, we'll have a half A for over there. Yeah.
Well, what Bob Barron didn't he? Bob Hunt, you remember that? I heard he took his
he actually
his
flew
Happy
a half A at
Stunner.
he crashed an airplane at the Nationals. Forgot exactly when. Then he flew a half A for the rest of the contest and did pretty well with it, actually.
Yeah, well, I understand. I had heard that when he went to Europe, he took that and had it processed as one of his backup airplanes.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Angstrom's pointed out, he doesn't have too many planes that he's built on his own for, for the senior side of the Open. So, yeah, he said if this half A is the champ right here, it flies like
That's
a champ.
the inside track, right?
Yeah,
it's the leader in the clubhouse. So
you may see it out there.
Yeah. Well, baby flight streaks fly like crazy. So that's what that is, isn't it?
Hey, Denny.
Yeah.
Here.
Woohoo!
That's your wing.
Yeah. Well, I'm not playing on staircases today. I'd run it out and get the way it finished out. But
David, is he there?
David?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was there.
Yeah. Never mind.
I'm afraid you're right on that.
Well,
Looks like we lost him.
John's back.
Mm-hmm.
he's connecting to audio. Hi, John. Nope, locked up again. Oh, well.
Oh, crap. Am I still back? Did I lock up again?
You're back this instant, but you're moving kind of like a robot.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with my internet provider.
How close are you located to your Wi-Fi router? Is it real close?
Well, I'm not using the Wi. I'm hardwired.
Oh, it's all hardwired. Okay, you got no answers.
Are you on dial-up?
No, I'm on, what's the name of it?
Ethernet,
No. Come on.
DSL,
No.
cable?
Frontier.
2 soup cans with a string in between.
You got it. Yeah. I've got to change the buttons. I went with plastic buttons. I need to get back to brass buttons.
Yeah, the reason I was asking it though is that I had been having some network issues and stuff, and finally figured out that where I had my laptop located, I was like 6 feet away from my my wireless router, and I think it was literally swamping it.
You know,
And
that's
I
something.
went and I changed the connection from that to, I have an extender up on the next floor, and farther away, plus on another floor, I did that, and all of a sudden my connection stabilized.
You know, I could look into that because I know the modem here is put away.
Well, he froze up again.
Yeah. Well, the only other thing to do is check drivers and stuff. So.
Hardwire, that's what I did.
Mm-hmm. David is back.
Yeah.
David was looking for you.
Yeah. I'm printing your elevator doodads. What color do you want?
Oh, hey, let's see. Red,
No, I don't have red.
blue.
Blue. Let's see.
Thanks, Howard.
There's blue.
That's fine, Howard.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
They've got ends on them because
Right.
it's easy to print that way. Just whack them off.
Yeah, that'll be fine, Howard.
Those ones you made for my twin really work great.
They work, boy. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they do.
I'm
Well, the airplanes they work on. Some airplanes they don't make much
Yeah.
of a difference, but the ones where they do make a difference, they make a big difference.
Yeah, I've had some of each.
Me too.
But I'll tell you, be careful. They do add a lot of drag, and
Oh, yeah.
Use up more battery.
You'll notice it on your battery consumption.
You do.
Yep.
So you can shorten them, play games with the length.
Huh.
Yep. I got real big ones. I had real big ones on the Crossfire, and I noticed a big difference in the battery consumption.
Yeah.
But it made the airplane fly incredibly well. So.
What did you notice, Bob, that you picked up on when you put them on?
What's that?
What did you notice that it improved when you put them on?
It improved the groove. It improved the lock.
Yeah, the lock.
It gave me more elevator authority. I made mine. They were actually increased the elevator area too. I made them so that they stuck back a distance from the back of the elevator. So it added. Robbie said you're adding quite a bit of area too. So I had more elevator authority in the airplane. It was noticeable.
Yeah. I have one electric airplane where it helped the hunt.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Bob said it helped him. Yeah.
Where I have a picture of the ones on. See if I can find that. What do we call those? Say gurney flaps or something?
Gurney strips.
Gurney flaps. Here it is. These are pretty big ones. Let me see if I can find a good.
You know, I might be willing to try something called a gurney flap, but I am unwilling to try something called a doodad. So.
Well, you're out of luck. I print doodads.
I really put big ones on it. They actually stuck back quite a bit. So they added some area too, you know.
I
Oh,
mean,
that added area. Yeah. Wow.
They were
your
huge.
doodad's bigger than my doodad. I mean, come on now.
Add ugliness.
Oh, you can run. Hey, Dennis, you can run some window louvers.
Family program.
Yeah, that's a big ass doodad there.
Yeah, that's a
big attitude. No, nasty donkey, just like the motors. Right, not bad donkeys or nasty donkeys, right? Instead of badass, whatever.
Wow.
Speaking of window louvers, how's Wesley?
He a week ago today he turned 94.
Wow.
Wow.
He's not doing too much with modeling or anything like that. His mobility is caught, you know, he's walking with a cane all the time now. His wife is in a nursing home now. She needs full-time care and stuff. She spends most of his time over there. He saddest thing I think is that his hearing is so bad now and stuff that he actually stopped going to the club meetings with me. You know, it used to be one of the things you used to get a kick out of was going to our local club meetings. He stopped doing that because he literally couldn't hear what was going on. So I don't know.
That doesn't stop the guys at our club meeting. They're all yelling at each other.
Yeah, Larry and I try to meet him for lunch every couple of weeks or so, and we need to do that now, certainly for his birthday and stuff, and but we haven't done it yet. But even in a restaurant, we usually try to get a back corner table, someplace where you can like lean right over next to him and talk directly to him, and he goes along pretty good. So.
Does he have a hearing aid, Denny?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got hearing aids. I sent him to the people who really, really helped me out, and he said, they didn't work as well for him as they did for me. And
hey, 94.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't have to hear anymore.
He's heard it all.
He's heard it all.
Yeah, heard it all.
There you go. There you go. That might be the best.
One of the sweetest people that ever lived, though. He really is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He and his wife both, Marie, so nice.
Age did he fly until, Denny?
Last flew at 92.
Wow.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Last flew at VSC at 90.
Wow.
Anyway, he was 89 and 51 weeks or something like that at VSC, but we celebrated his 90th birthday, and he got the first ever of the white hats for the
Willard thing.
Yeah. No, who was that? Lanny
Shorts. Yeah.
He got the first 90 year old hat. So
Lanny got one himself this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you going to have your rust buster, Dennis?
Pardon me?
Are you going to have your rust buster?
I'm hoping to. I checked out the field just the other day, and the field's in really good shape. I was surprised. No standing water or anything.
When
I
is
got to
that?
get the flyer out, and it'll be the same weekend as always, that Memorial Day Saturday. And it'll be part of the, aside with the RC meet that day, the vintage RC meet our club runs. So anticipating the same kind of routine as normal, Pampa events and profile and whatever.
How far off Route 80 is that?
How what?
How far off of Route 80 is that field?
80 is the toll road. So we are about an hour south of the toll road.
Because I got to get out to Billy's, so maybe I can do two things at once.
from Billy's place, it's about 3 hours.
Yeah, so
You,
Billy's
you'd
for me,
come
Billy's
across.
6.5 hours to Billy's for me, maybe 7, because he moved from.
Yeah, but so yeah, it'd be about 3 hours or so, and
Oh, it's 10 hours. It's the same as going to Muncie.
basically,
Right.
where you actually coming from Billy's house, you probably wouldn't take the toll road. You'd angle across on one of the state highways just for the difference in distance. Probably end up on 24 for part of it at least. So, which literally goes like a mile from the field. So, how's Billy doing?
I understand. I haven't talked to him in a little while, but I understand he's doing better. He's getting around the house with a walker, and he's got somebody. He's got a ride now. They gave him some kind of service to get him to his dialysis 3 days a week. So I guess he's holding his own.
Mm-hmm. And how old is he now?
84 or 5.
85. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna be 83 tomorrow.
No.
Happy
I'm
birthday, Gary.
Happy
Hey,
birthday,
Gary.
Who's going to be 83 tomorrow?
Gary.
Me. Yeah.
Eric. Hey, guy, that's great.
Yeah.
Or maybe, well, I don't know if it's great or not, but happy birthday.
Yes.
Better than the alternative.
Yeah.
that's it. That's it. Old age still beats the alternative. So,
Yeah.
but
Well, we
then
don't
again,
know.
father time is undefeated. So, just remember, these are the good old days, man. Let's just keep it up as long as we can.
I'm hoping to be able to fly this year, Denny. I've been going to a doctor and I've been getting, matter of fact, I just took it off, this TENS and EMS device, and that's helping a little. And I've been getting cold laser treatments, and all of a sudden I'm starting to feel a little better. So I'd like to fly some more. So if I could make that trip out to Billy's, I got to do something with him, and then make it out to your contest. That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm going to count on you to come and help me at the net.
Yeah.
Would these eyes lie? I said, yeah, if I'm available and if I can and everything, I will. But like I say, we're just playing it along here.
Yeah.
My wife and I did a lot of traveling last year. We had a good time. We got our 50th state and all that kind of stuff, and so that was cool. So
I'd love to, if I come out there, I'll bring the twin. I'd love for you to fly. Well, of course, you won't be able to fly it at that point in time.
no, I'm not planning on. I just don't know, but
At some point, I want you to fly one.
yeah, the physical therapy starts with range of motion. Range of motion probably ends when you start overdoing it. So my inclination is to say I'm not thinking about flying till at least July or so.
Gotcha.
Well, that same old thing. Back to the jokes. The doctor said, I should be able to play golf at 12 weeks. And said, well, shit, I can't play now. But I mean, I played golf, but
I told you my story about that, didn't I?
I don't know.
Well, I think I told Bob. I went to get something done on my hand. I think I had a trigger finger, and the doctor had some kind of a trainee who was following him around. And I figured he hadn't heard the joke, so I said, "When after you fix this, will I be able to play the guitar?" And went through the whole process, and the conversation lasted about half an hour and ended up with the doctor talking about Rolling Stones guitar tunings.
Open G.
So you were going to say, you asked the doctor, can I play guitar? And he says, I don't see why not. He said, well, that's funny. I never could before.
Yeah. Well, that's the obvious joke, but I figured the rookie hadn't heard it yet.
That's funny.
So, and he hadn't.
Denny, did you watch the golf today? Fitzpatrick's round? Holy smokes! What, 8 under or something? You know,
Wow.
get some round.
That's it.
I took up golf for a while. Buddy Weeder got me into golf. He gave me a set of tailor-made golf clubs, and we got a driver, I got a putter. We went out. I could drive at 300 yards at that point. I had a lot of upper body strength then, and I could putt. I could chip up onto the green, no problem. Then I would 4-putt if I was 3 feet away. And you know, I took up golf because it made stunts seem a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, the funny thing about golf, and when I played, I'd go out and I'd just hack up the course for 8.5 holes, come to the 9th hole, and I would make one perfect shot.
Yep,
right?
and bring it back the next time.
And it was like the rest of it was forgotten, and I'm ready to go, you know, a day or two later, and everything like that. So yeah,
You hit that perfect.
it's actually something like flying stunt, isn't it?
Yep.
You go stink up the field, and then it's like, wow, where did that
Maneuver.
hourglass
Hey,
come
I
from?
can do this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So anyhow,
When I quit golf.
You heard about the guy that brought the big gorilla to the line at a driving range? The gorilla stood up and took a number 2 driver, nailed that sucker hell right down, straight down the middle of the course. It was 650 yards.
Wow.
Yeah. Guy standing next to us says, wow, can he do that again? He says, he can do that every time. Wow, what a golfer he must be. How's he putt? He said, just like he drives.
I had to give up golf. I had a real bad experience. I was out on the 5th tee one day and with my friend Fred, and Fred had a heart attack and died.
oh.
And all day long it was hit the ball, drag Fred, hit the ball, drag Fred.
Yeah. I was flying with somebody like that. We were out practicing, and I'm holding his airplane, and you know the old days here. I'm holding the airplane inverted when you flippity flip. He goes to start. You got the battery hooked up and everything like that, and we see this funeral train driving by, and he like disconnects the battery, and he takes a step back, takes his hat off for a second, and watches while the funeral train goes on. And I was really amazed at that. I said, wow, that's really something. I'd never seen anybody do anything that respectful. He goes, well, hell, I was married to her for 30 years. So yes, you've all heard, you were all smiling. You all heard that one before, but
Yeah.
and you know, you can tell, you can fit it to almost any occasion.
You can,
So. I first heard
it's
about
like
golfers.
The same joke about Dale Earnhardt you can fit to anybody. It's about the stunt flyer who died and went to heaven.
Yeah.
And St. Peter said, welcome to heaven. He said, I'm glad to be here, but to be honest, I'm going to miss flying stunt. And the guy said, why? We have flying fields here, workshops and everything else. You want to go see the field? He said, sure. So we took him over to the field and looked out. There's this guy out there flying a red Nobler smoking a pipe. And he says, wow, there's Geeski. St. Peter says, no, that's not Geeski. That's God. He just thinks he's Geeski.
That's great. That's great.
I love it.
That's it.
You know, talking about golf. I think I told this joke once when Mark Weiss was on here talking about playing golf, but I love it. It's a bumper sticker I saw that I need to get for my car. You put it on the back of your car on the rear bumper. This is for old guys that don't drive as well anymore. And what the bumper sticker says is, if you don't like my driving, you should see me putt.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, Mark has a lot of golf jokes. Matter of fact, his golf game is a joke. So,
how's Mark doing these days, anyway?
He's good. I talked to him the other day. Gotta come
Okay.
up and hang out.
Good. Good.
He's a lot of fun.
How come he ain't been on?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I think it kind of comes and goes, Sparky. It's like my big hold up, you know, and coming on myself. I used to come on like all the time and all that, and I didn't. Then I did again. Then I didn't again. And for me, part of it was like it kind of the roller coaster follows my modeling activity, how much I'm doing, if I'm building anything and or whatever.
I wasn't
Uh-oh.
on this Friday or Monday either.
Looks like blue doodads. Blue dads.
Blue
doodads are being printed as we speak.
Yeah, blue day as we speak. All right, that's outstanding.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
You see David leaning forward on the screen. Ooh. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. He's on fast print. Oh.
Yeah, the
Danny,
first layer is slower.
Mm.
Danny, I got knocked off, didn't hear the punchline. I'm assuming it was, I'm sure gonna miss her.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you heard it before.
That's it.
I don't know if these doodads are the same size as the ones you got. They look about 4/10 of an inch high.
I think, well, yeah, I think that's probably the same. Those are the ones that were in that little plastic box you had, Howard.
Yeah, they make different ones each time,
Yeah.
depending on the guy's
Right.
elevator thickness.
We'll make them work, Howard.
Well, I can do something else if they don't.
You ever see those little, watch those little RC indoor aerobatic, the pattern airplanes? And you see how many doodads they have on those things? I mean, they're all over the airplane. The flaps, the wingtips, the tail, the rudder, they're everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, check it out sometime. Just look up a World Championship indoor electric RC pattern. That'll get you there. I forgot the exact designation, but F3E or something.
Yeah, it's a different flight condition we have, different mass
But I'm just
characteristics,
saying, they got all kinds of crap all over those airplanes.
different Reynolds number.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you see an airplane going backwards and everything like that, it's like I'm not sure. I don't know which set of aerodynamics they're using on that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well,
Yeah.
if you put the wrong bullet into the wrong thing, you'll have the same thing with your stunt ship.
Not that I've ever done that before.
No, not me either. It happened.
Well, I sent you that matrix of the different combinations of motor rotation and propeller.
I still have it.
Yeah.
I want to frame it.
Yeah. Most of them won't work very well.
Actually, it's still on that thread that marathon thread I had on the first electric twin. You put that in there, so that's what I got.
Yeah.
The twin that took me 7 years to build.
Uh-oh.
Well, I can't find it.
Well,
Oh, that's interesting.
It's some of that indoor flying is something else to watch, and
it's something. It's really fun. Those guys are great. They're really good.
Yeah. Well, the helicopter aerobatics are kind of insane too. So
helicopters don't really fly. They're just so ugly the earth repels them.
yes. Although that new chopper that they're working on, the Sikorsky, the twin rotors and the tail fan, that thing is really tough.
Robbie works for my son Robbie works for a helicopter company. He works for Carson Helicopters.
No.
No, that the new Sikorsky, it's a breakthrough paradigm. They got by putting two contra-rotating rotors on it. They overcame with a helicopter as it goes forward, and of course the blade that's spinning blade going forward is going at the speed of the vehicle, and the blade going back is going the speed the speed minus the vehicle speed, and And Sikorsky, of course, they fixed that by putting in 2 rotors contra-rotating so that, yeah, that's happening, but it's happening in opposite directions for each rotor. So all of a sudden they got a helicopter, their tester, I think they went 300 miles an hour with it.
Didn't the
And,
Cayman Hawk do the same thing years ago?
Didn't, who again?
The Cayman Hawk. It was called the Cayman.
They did something with contra-rotating rotor, so they could get rid of a tail rotor, I think. But Sikorsky did that, and then they put, instead of a tail rotor, they have basically a pusher prop on it. And that, that provides all the motive, but they can turn the prop off and the thing, and they can actually, they can come in a very quiet stealth mode with it too. So tail rotors usually the source of most of the noise. They don't need one with that. They can, they can use the contra-rotating rotors to, to hover, forward, backwards, rotate, whatever. And,
I don't know. It sure seems like them big rotors going whop, 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 whop. It sounds like that's what's making the noise.
Yeah, well, all I know, there's some good videos on it. It's never going to be silent, but they can take an awful lot of the footprint away, the noise footprint away. So
I don't know. Blue Thunder was pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Well, don't they have a directed air where there's a blower inside the boom and there's no rotor at all?
Yeah, that's a different, the NOTAR
The
system.
NOTAR.
Yeah. Was that McDonald, I think, had that? I'm not sure. The in the globe, the one that looks like a globe.
Got a weed eater
the Magnum
back there
PI
below?
helicopter. Yeah. All right. I don't know where I have these Nobler. I may not even have these. All right. I'm meandering around here. I'm looking for some pictures and stuff. So kind of off on my own. I'll be back in a minute here. If I find
That's
them.
not the one I'm thinking of. The one I'm thinking of has a directed air blast on the back, a round cylinder.
Right. This just has it in a duct. It's similar. It's not as sophisticated as what you're describing.
Yeah.
The company Robbie works for makes replacement blade sets for the Sikorsky Sky Crane.
Oh, wow.
$9 million a set.
Yeah.
They really go whop, 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 whop. They go lifting things.
Yeah, they must be huge.
Now he has a picture. He sent me a picture of one in the hangar. They had actually one in the hangar. They got this huge hangar. The thing looks like a big wasp. You know?
Yeah. Ungainly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's composite blades.
I don't know if they're composite or not, but the ones he's working, he doesn't work on those. He works on they're developing and doing research for carbon blades for all the Black Hawk helicopters in the world, the ones that don't belong to the Taliban. So that's what he's doing. But he showed me pictures of one that came in there. It was really neat.
Richard, Jonathan Carrata says, hi, Richard. What is that fresh model behind you? Well, that's a Nobler, Jonathan.
Yeah.
He's our New Zealand member.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's see if we can raise it. I thought he was an Aussie. Oh,
Same thing.
That ought to get a response.
You're told
ought
now.
to get a response. All right.
Down under, man.
Yeah, if he's anywhere near a PC, he's going to be here at the speed of light.
Oh my goodness, what an insult.
Hey, Denny, did you have your surgery?
I did.
And you're on the hangout the same night?
Dedication, my friend. What can I say?
It's 3 little holes, right?
And aesthetic. I think
I had about 5 holes.
Modern drug.
5 of them?
Called pain medication.
Yeah, the first day is no problem. Wait
You
till
bring
tomorrow.
enough for everybody.
Hey,
Well, yeah, I'm gonna hold you to that, Steve. So if I have any trouble tomorrow, I'm not calling a doctor. I'm gonna raise hell with you. That's
You
it.
Yeah,
you
call
got
me.
a pup that squirts the stuff in there?
No, I
No.
don't. I
Oh,
don't.
okay.
I do have, shall we say, better living through chemistry.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Hey,
And
Steve, are we going to the
I
Rust
also
Butter?
have Jack Daniels on a consulting contract, and
There you go.
Hey,
I figure
Steve.
between them. No, actually, my sister got me a couple of these gel pack things. They're specifically made for the shoulder. You
Hmm.
freeze them up and everything like that, and they fit like over the top of the shoulder and around and everything like that. And gosh,
Are we done?
yeah, she's very thought. They're in the freezer right now, so I'll be on that. But yeah, like you said, Steve, I got that nerve block or whatever they call it, and right now
Yep.
I know my arm is there because I can see it, not because I can
Yeah,
feel it. All right, so
exactly. What's going
and
on, Bob?
Are we going to the Rust Buster?
No, I cannot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I explained to Denny.
yeah. Well,
My
he's
daughter's birthday weekend, and I got some
yeah,
flack when I went.
yeah,
How far does Larry Fruits live from there?
from here about 75 miles.
No, from that where that contest is going to be.
About that, yeah. He comes across on 30 to 24. So yeah,
I figure
it's
I
a
could.
sometimes local flying field for him. We get together, his field or my field,
Gotcha.
and so it's in the plans.
Okay.
Well, it's that time. Gary's now your host. We're going to switch over to the after party. I really appreciate you guys watching on YouTube. Please like and subscribe, and maybe tomorrow I'll do the trailer video. I don't know. We'll see you later. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.
Good night.
Hey, anyhow, so
Hey,
Steve, how
I
goes the
apologize.
recovery?
These guys don't. All right.
Steve,
Danny,
how's the recovery?